Well, a very good evening everyone and welcome to Arbour Park, where we will be bringing you coverage of this FA Cup third qualifying round tie between Slough Town and Bath City. Both of these sides lost at this stage to league rivals last season, so we'll be hoping to avoid a case of deja vu this evening, with the winner just one game away from a place in the first round proper and a potential tie against league opposition. Mark, very good evening to you. Bath City come into this one off the back of victory over Billericay on Saturday in what wasn't necessarily a classic, but was certainly a controlled performance by the Romans. What do you think the mood will be like in the camp ahead of this evening?
Evening, Michael. Good evening, everyone. I think they should be full of confidence. They had a slow start in the game against Billericay Timers. Jerry Gill said to me afterwards he's not going to see a complete performance over 96 minutes. It just doesn't happen very often. And I think after they scored, although Billericay still had a good share of possession for the remainder of the half, if anything, we could have won by more. We spurned a few good chances at the end, but it was that man Tommy Conway with 2 goals tonight, but as we'll allude to nearer to kick-off, unfortunately he's not in the lineup this evening. But despite that, obviously we've added to the ranks with Lucas Tomlinson. Freddie Hines looked very bright on Saturday. He looked very good in both meetings with Slough a couple of years ago, and it's hard to tell obviously how tonight is going to go. It's one of only 2 All-National League South ties, and it's a team we haven't played since we were here 14 months ago, and lots of changes for us since then. So I'm looking forward to it, but I'm quietly confident as well for Bath City tonight.
As we do. So it will be back for Bath City with Pope in midfield. Long diagonal that goes over the head of Hine. First touch of the evening for the Roman shot stopper. And he plays it short to Leake. He drives the ball forward, picks out Hines about 20 yards out. Still with Hines, trying to find room for a shot, which he does, but can't trouble Turner. But it was a really good ball into him by Leake.
It was a really good ball, but I think the Slough management won't be too happy that he's managed to thread it low along the floor, around 30 yards, with no one anywhere near to intercept it.
It is, though, Hodges and Worsfold over this free kick. Will be Hodges to take it over the wall, but also over Ryan Clark's crossbar.
Yeah, it's never going to trouble him, that one.
Cool with a lovely ball out to Jackman. Gets inside the area. Smith backtracking. He forces him wide, but keeps it alive with McGlip, about 25 yards out. Looks to drive down the right, looks to thread it through. It's going to break here into the box. It's a brilliant challenge by Jack Batten to deny Paul Hodges. Found a little bit of space in the box, and that one would have been troubling Clark. Now, ball out to McKnight on the Slough right, midway inside the Bath City half. Jackman urges him to hold it, which he does, and then plays it to the right back. Jackman with a first time cross in, and it's a brilliant save by Ryan Clark. Roberts' man on the end of it didn't quite get enough purchase on it, but the Roman stopper still had to be alert to react to that one. Once again being in swing up, this time from the right footer. In towards the centre of the goal. Clark comes, punches square, and on the follow-up is a rasping drive by Hodges once again, but over Ryan Clark's crossbar. Well, tries to twist away from Pope, then goes square to Roberts. He tries to dink one over the top. Batten reads it, but Cool picks up the loose ball and gets out to Worsfold on the Slough left. He hits in a high hanging cross. It's well kept alive in fact by Hodges, and Harley has to hook away a clearance. Tomlinson then battling away and he loses out, and it's back in the possession of Bird. A really heavy touch though. Tomlinson can nip in here. He's got Hines to the right, and he can find him, goes down, and it's a fairly cynical foul from Bird, and I think he will be the first man in the referee's notebook, because having given the ball away originally, he realised he needed to do something to bail his team out. Harley taps it to Smith, who drives, deflects off the wall and goes about a yard wide of the post, with the Slough keeper stranded. Into Smith on the halfway. Nice little layoff to Richards, and now maybe a chance for Barty to spring something with Tomlinson. He cuts inside, across to Harley, 10 yards inside the Slough Town half. Out to Hines, who's made a run to the left-hand side on the apex of the 18-yard box. Up against 3 Slough players. Lays it back to Harley. Back wide to Hines in that same position once again. This time he's got a little bit more time to maybe try and do something. To drive inside is tripped, and the referee says no. Well, it looked like there was an outstretched leg there, but the referee says nothing doing, as Slough can look to break through Roberts on the halfway line. Leake does well to intercept it, but that looked like a very good shout for a penalty for Bath City.
Well, if it's not a trip, it's a yellow card for simulation.
Lomas making an overlapping run, who will use. Checks back, then cross-driven in by Worsfold. Ball heads it away. Harley will hook it slightly further clear, but only as far as McGlip, 30 yards out, he goes for a shot, but that one flies about 10 or 12 yards over Ryan Clark's crossbar. This third qualifying round tie between Slough Town and Bath City. Still goalless in this one so far, as Tomlinson plays a nice ball down the right hand side to Evans. In a bit of space here, Evans puts in a cross low, finds Smith, and he's blazed it over from 12 yards. It's a big chance of Bath City's top scorer from last season, and in truth he was nowhere near finding the back of the net.
That's City's best move of the game so far.
Free kick on this right hand side. It will be the left foot of Wordsfeld to swing it in, which he does. A dangerous looking delivery. Ball is the man to head it away. Finds Hodges about 30 yards out, turns away from a couple of City players, drives a shot in, deflects off Batten. It's nodded on, it finds Roberts in space. Brilliant save by Clark. It was straight at him, but it was hit powerfully, and ball is there to clear. Tomlinson is backtracking under pressure from a couple. He wants a free kick, he's not going to get it, but Evans will complete the clearance up to the halfway line, and Jerry Gill is less than impressed with the referee. I think he feels that Slough Town are getting quite a few more free kicks than his own players.
Final 10 minutes or so of the first half, and still Slough the only efforts on target, but none of them count. We remain at 0-0.
Picked up by Worsfold on the Slough left, driving forward, delivering across, finds Hodges, he completely miskicked it, and then on the follow-up Roberts completely misses his kick as well, but it was two decent opportunities in there for the Slough Town attackers, and they did not make the most of that because they were in a little bit of space, both of them. I think McKnight looks favourite here. It's a four-man Bath City wall. It will be McKnight. It's a good strike, and Clark is forced to push it round the post. As McKnight drives it in low, it's volleyed away. Tomlinson can complete the clearance on the edge of the box, and Smith is first onto the loose ball. Chance to maybe drive forward. He's quickly slowed down by Hodges, who unceremoniously hacks him down on the halfway line, and will be the second man in the referee's notebook this evening.
Hodges rightfully goes in the book. Took one for the team there as he tried to break down the right-hand side.
Smith with it, 25 yards out the left, driving inside, cuts inside, tries to go for goal, but gets too much on it. Clears the bar once again. Draw and a loss in their previous two meetings. They'd like to complete the set with a win this evening as the referee blows the half-time whistle. So at the interval, it's Slough Town 0, Bath City 0. In truth, it's been defences on top in that opening 45. Ryan Clark's been the busier of the two keepers. Two good saves, but two you probably would expect him to make. We are back underway at Arbour Park.
Yeah, been a cagey start thus far, these two teams, but Worsfold will want to do something about it now.
It's a nice take. Looks to step it through to Hodges on the edge of the box. The Batten gets a foot in it, loops up in the air to Ryan Clark. It was out of nothing. Long ball right Turner. Worsfield took it down under no pressure, chest inside, and nearly set up a chance for his team as Pope looks to come the other way for Bath City. Driving up over the halfway line. Cole going all the way with him, but Pope retains it 30 yards out into Tomlinson. A bit of space. Looks a slight through for Richards inside the box. Squares it. Finds Hines in space. Hines with a big chance. And he's put it in the back of the net. Bath City's first attack of the second half. It's brilliantly worked. And Freddie Hines, who loves playing against Slough Town, has done it again. And Bath City are in front at Arbour Park.
Oh, doesn't he just? And he took it so well. He was so calm. He sort of shimmied to one side, shimmied the other. The goalkeeper comes racing off his line and he lofts it over him into the opposite corner of the net. Gave him no chance. But it was such fine build-up play down this right-hand side to create it for Bath City. Started mainly from Jason Pope, Tom Richards involved, and Tomlinson too. And it really all came together in the right time. And a fine finish at the end of it. And Freddie Hines 2-2 against Slough makes it 1-0 to the Romans.
Like 20 yards out on the Slough right. Drives it in towards the far post, and arriving is Togwell. It's a brilliant save by Ryan Clark. Togwell was in a bit of space, headed it down into the ground, and the Romans keeper has just pulled off a wonder save to save his team and preserve their lead. Got more work to do though, because Worsfold will swing in the delivery once again. It's fizzed in, it's head on by Togwell. It might have been cleared off the line, might have been Clark. Still alive with Hodges. That one's blocked, and Pope can bring it out. He slightly overruns it though, and Cole picks it up. 15 yards out on the left for Slough. Goes back to Lomas, tries to prod it through. It ricochets off Hines, and Bath City can now look to break and finally leave the pressure, although he's got a couple of runners ahead of him. Got three in fact, and he overruns it. Then into Cole, quickly closed down by Richards, who dispossesses him, and it might be another chance for Bath City to counter through Tomlinson. Looks to spread it through for Hines. He's onside, 20 yards out. Hines is narrowly over the crossbar. Nearly doubled his lead. It's great play by Richards to intercept the ball. City on the counter-attack, and Hines was millimetres from doubling his tally. Collision off the ball. The referee plays advantage. Smith's adjudged to have fouled McGill. And then there's another free kick. It's being pulled back because Dan Ball's going to go in the referee's notebook. Free kick driven in. Clark comes out, punches, and Tomlinson miscues his clearance. Richards steals in though, and Bath City have 3-on-3 here with Hines, he's got Richards and Smith ahead of him. It's a lucky ricochet off Cool. Richards is in here, chests it down. Smith takes over, Smith! And it's saved by Turner. Big chance for Bath City to double their lead, and they can't take it. And you do wonder if these chances are going to come back and haunt the Romans. Hines now in space on the left for City, midway inside the Slough half. Ball making an overlapping run, feeds it to him. Chance to drive in across, he does, it's low and it's hacked behind via Bird. Slightly unconventional clearance, but we've seen it before this season. Bath City seem to wake up after half time, and they've certainly stepped on the gas in this second half as well. Bath City's first corner of the second half. Evans goes short to Hines, he's made a run to the front post. He takes it back to the corner taker. They worked it well, comes the ball, and from 15 yards out just skies it over Turner's goal, but it was well worked by Bath City.
I think that's Dan Ball's first shot for about 2 seasons.
You can tell why.
It was the sort of shock on your voice as well, because he's often one of the men left back.
It's Ryan Bird who's making way.
That's a Warren Harris number.
I missed the board. I just saw Ryan Bird walking off. Well, remain to be seen. It is Freddie Hines who's making way for Bath City, and Callum Watts will be the man who comes on in his place. Yeah, just to confirm, it is Warren Harris who has come on for Slough Town. So a change of pace for both sides, and Slough have managed to get out of that though, and it's with McGill. Slides down the right-hand side for McKnight. Does keep it in. Crosses towards the far post. Arriving is Robertson. Well, he nearly got on the end of his own header in the end. Back on the halfway line with McGill. Lays it out to McKnight on the corner of the box. He's going to drive in a shot, but that one's not troubling Clark. And it's now picked up by McGill, but it's a lovely ball out to Worsfeld on the left-hand side in a bit of space. Leake has to come out to meet him. He drives in a first-time cross, and Batten sliding across just clears it out for a throw-in, which Slough get on with quickly. Lomas 10 yards inside the Bath City half. He's forced back to Togwell as Watts and Tomlinson once again put on the press. But Slough do still have it courtesy of Togwell, but he's now about 20 yards from his own goal. Lomas is then forced back to Turner. Tomlinson goes down off the ball in an instant with Togwell. I didn't see what happened there, isn't it right, you, Mark? 11 minutes to go. Bath City still leading by 1-0 as Jackman drives in across. Leake is underneath it, drops to Roberts on the edge of the box, juggles with it, it's well blocked. Now Cool, 15 yards out, is another shot blocked. Then it's going to be a third shot on the follow-up, appeals for a corner by McGill, but he's caught that one all wrong. But the pressure starting to increase on that Bath City back line. That loose ball does break out to Lomas on the left, swings in a good-looking ball. Harris was arriving and in a bit of space completely miscued his header. Jackman does deliver a long throw in. Ball is underneath it, slightly miscues it. Richards on the edge of the box is caught really late by Cole.
That was nasty. That was really nasty. I don't even think he perhaps had half an eye on the ball, but Cole's doing it. It's a heavy landing, and fortunately Tom Richards is sort of sat, and he doesn't look too injured. But yeah, that probably the worst foul I've seen of the game. He ran back to win the ball and win a cheap free kick, so he should be really pleased with what he's done. He's on the ball now.
Yeah, he's made a good run. This time he would better off going for the corner. He's fired it in first time with no one in there. Ryan Harley screaming at him. There's 35 seconds left. That was a poor choice by Callum Watts.
Well, lack of experience, because the goalkeeper could have easily claimed it and put another attack going, and Slough now do manage to clear out of the field, but once again City behind it.
And once again it was Tom Leake. He's been sensational this evening in the Walsall loan. He grabbed the ball over the top. Smith miles offside. The offside flag does go up. He'd been better controlling it to waste time there, Tom Smith. He was a little bit too honest because he knew he was offside, and it means Turner can fire it long and forward. This one drops to McKnight. It's slightly misjudged by the City back line for about the first time. Out to Roberts on the right-hand side. Can he find room for a cross? He does. It's in low. It's brilliant defending in there by Callum Watts, and that is the full-time whistle. It's finished. Slough Town 0, Bath City 1 here at Arbour Park. Freddie Hines with the only goal of the game to put Bath City into the fourth qualifying round at the expense of their National League South rivals. That second half was a bit of a grind at times, Mark, but having taken the lead early in the second half, it was an excellent defensive performance by the Romans to get themselves in the hat for the next round.
Yeah, because it wasn't overly backs to the wall. Slough's best chances of getting back into the game was straight after City had scored the Togwell header, fine save from Clark, and that was the only time really he was tested, because the four in front of him was superb this evening. I think as a unit is 2 clean sheets in a row, and to come here to Slough Town and keep a clean sheet, no mean feat. They'd scored in their previous 3 games this season. I know they've got attacking players missing, but this is a very capable team, and I expect Slough to be at the right end of the table. It's a terrific win for Bow City. That's £9,000 in the bank as well, which they, of course, every club needs at the moment in the coffers, and they go into that 4th qualifying round draw, and 1 step closer to finally getting that elusive appearance in the first round. Players like Dan Ball trudging off now, who's yet to do it with this club. Could this be his year? And that for many others who have been around here for a while. And Jerry Gill, who's played in the first round for the club and could have the chance to manage in it. They'll want a better draw than opponents like Slough Town away again, but he'll be relieved that they managed to hold on to the win, and he'll be absolutely delighted with the performance.
The Romans have gone marching on. They are in the hat for the 4th qualifying round to find out their opponents in the draw on Thursday. We'll be back on Saturday when Mark will be alongside Joe Acklam as the Romans make that trip to Prince's Park. Until then, enjoy the rest of your week, and we will see you on Saturday.